And Komander, wait a minute. And the triangle drop kick. Oh my!
That right here is not how anyone is supposed to land. He goes up. This guy goes up. He flips. He comes down directly to the top of his head, and his neck folds underneath him. This man right here is Smart Mark Sterling on Ring of Honor, and the reason everyone is talking about it is not just how frightening it looked, it is also what happened next after this event, which is interesting or a little funny. But anyway, welcome to the Tea Drop, where the brew is strong and there's lots to talk about. Ring of Honor Television, August 18th, 2026, through the HonorClub. The opening match that they had was between Komander versus Ariya Daivari. Daivari is part of the premier athletes alongside Tony Nese, Josh Woods' story, Denal, with Smart Mark Sterling, Esquire, serving as their manager. This starts as a standard manager spot. You know, Sterling climbs onto the apron. He is barking its instructions at Daivari and join with the official. You have seen this setup 100 times. Komander, as you saw, springboards on the ropes, throws a kick to Sterling, and wipes Sterling off the apron. This is the planned part right there. That was it. What is not planned, unfortunately, is the landing. This bump right here. Here's the play-by-play exactly how it aired. Sterling bounces flat off the apron. His upper body twists as he falls, and instead he twists and falls, and instead of landing on his back or stomach even, his body turns almost perpendicular, and it probably is due to the apron hit, and he drops perpendicular to the floor. He comes down to the top of his head and neck. If you watch it like we're doing right now, frame by frame, his legs fold over his back, creating that horrible scorpion-like shape. If you think about it, look at that scorpion-like shape right there. Everyone's has been describing. His neck compresses, his head takes the force, and that's it. Now, Sterling bounces off the apron, ends up perpendicular to the floor, and lands on the top of his head, forcing his neck to bend in this weird, horrible looking direction. Now, here's the part that people panicking, that had people panicking as they watch. Because after all this, eventually, throughout the show, he got back up like nothing. And that was it. I don't have a picture of it, but he basically walked up. He got up and he walked. And later in the same match, Sterling took another bump when Komander dove the ropes onto both of him and Daivari. This was not presented as a stretcher angle. Sterling walked away from a landing that looked career-threatening to everyone watching it, to be honest. Now, this is why the clip exploded. Your eyes tell you one thing. Then you see Sterling moving, and your brain cannot reconcile the two images. One question that flooded Sterling's mention overnight was a few things. And we can start with how some people reacted. This is probably one of the biggest reactions I saw is, "I just screamed at the bump Smart Mark Sterling just took off of the apron on Ring of Honor television. Back to the neck brace for him." And then the next thing, you see this one. You have Mark Sterling, Esquire, "Are you good? Are you okay?" When one fan asks if he was good, Sterling asked without hesitation and no explanation, just said no. No. Just no. Then, and this is very smart Mark Sterling, apparently, he realized the clip was doing numbers. And of course, as you would do if you want to make sure your brand gets reaction, you went to work. Once Sterling realized his bump had gone viral overnight, Smart Mark went to work, and he jokes about it. Then he pushes back against AEW. He pushed back against a fan who tried to blame Ring of Honor and AEW production for the spot. Like right here, another AEW production team error. Go figure. Why wouldn't you cut this? Why wouldn't you cut this or use a different camera angle, especially on a pre-taped Ring of Honor show? How does this keep happening 7 years in? This was a nasty bump. I hope Sterling's okay. Now, obviously, Mark Sterling keep going with the heat. He pushed back against a fan trying to push for that agenda. And he basically said, "Why would you cut this? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I demanded to keep it." alongside "As long as you're okay, Mark," that's the main thing. Because of that, he began promoting his major, even to the point, which is the more hilarious part, he started promoting a major wrestling action figure connected to the work he does with Dalton Castle and the Outrun. So here you go. He puts this online, him hurting his neck. Whatever Sterling was feeling physically, his public response was pure, smart Mark. He is a veteran performer, a friend of Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, and a regular presence around the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. He took a frightening viral moment and used the attention to remind people that he is an entertaining character with merchandise to move. Now, if you're going to, Cage Side joked about this, and they said if you are going to almost break your neck, you might as well use it, which was hilarious. The wrestling community reacted exactly how you would expect when it comes to this. One half said, "I hope he is okay, that the landing looked nasty." The other half said, "Do not take a moonsault dive after a neck bump like that. You are playing with fire." Both reactions can exist at the same time, though, when someone working the manager role takes a full wrestling bump. Now, what holds and what does not? Let me be very clean about what is verified and what is not. This is where everything gets messy, and we'll talk about what holds. Number one, on Ring of Honor television from August 18, Sterling stood with the apron, on the apron with Daivari. Komander took him out, and Sterling suffered a nasty head and neck landing. Multiple outlets described it the same way. Two, he just walked. He even participated in the second spot when Komander dove over the ropes. Not a big deal. Three, the concern online was real. The clips spread like wildfire. Within 24 hours, this thing went viral. 4, Sterling commented on the situation himself with one word response, no, that he wasn't alright, and then lean into the attention with jokes, merchandise promotion, and a response to people blaming the production. Now, here is what doesn't hold. Now, I am not playing a doctor, and I am not diagnosing a concussion, a neck injury, or a career-threatening condition simply because the fall looked terrible. Unless Sterling or Ring of Honor confirms it, we do not call this career ending. You may see posts saying it will take months to feel right, or he is going to be out for months. Treat those statements only as the words of the person who posted them, not as a verified medical timeline. At the time of this recording, no outlets has reported an official Ring of Honor medical update with a confirmed return date. Now, if Sterling says months, that is the quote, but it is not our diagnosis at this time, and we do not upgrade it to a career ending unless Sterling or Ring of Honor says so. That is the standard that we're going to say, and that's it. Now, the payoff, the story is simple. It looked career threatening. Sterling walked away though, and the wrestling world lost its mind. Sterling took a manager's bump that went wrong in the worst looking way. Head and neck first, legs folded over his back, then he walked away and joked about it the following morning. Now, it is a reminder that even a comedy manager spot carries real risk the second someone's feet leaves the apron. Now, if Ring of Honor or Sterling releases a medical update, we can add it to the description. But anyway, drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of this? Was it too much of a risque move, or is it okay as long as it gives you the entertainment value, I guess? I don't know. But as always, if the T hit right, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.